What's up, friends? Today we're checking out the song Lavender, Haze by Taylor Swift. This is one of the standout tracks for me personally off of her newest album, Midnights. I think it has some really strong production ideas, so let's go into it. We're looking at this from the perspective of a songwriter and producer, so expect a lot of pauses to go over specific elements of the song. Okay, just looking at the intro right now. We've got this very suspended drum line, pretty simple, a steady, nice beat. But we got this really interesting bass, which is this manipulated vocal doing this oom, 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 oom. And then we have that top line, the oh, oh, going on top of it, which is a good little introduction. Slowly bringing us into the vocal, a line that we'll probably hear a lot as kind of a transitionary line throughout the song, a good little hook to catch us right from the get-go. There's this little noise that's like this whoop, 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 kind of in the high end. Really like it. Yeah, a lot of interesting uses of vocals in this song. And Taylor Swift, of course, sounding clean sound in Taylor Swift.
I've been under scrutiny, yeah, oh yeah. You handle it beautifully, yeah, oh yeah.
Cool little pre-chorus right here. We've dropped out that snare. Have a 4 on the floor kick. So all 4 beats have the kick on it. Stripping away a lot of that more mid-range musical information. There's a nice little EQ filter with a little bit of overdrive, a little bit of distortion on that vocal that's kind of serving as the call and response. The yeah, oh yeah. Also sounds like that might be doubled as well to kind of give the idea that, you know, there are people saying this back to her. It's a good practice with a background vocal. Love that transition. Great little drum fill leading us into this part right here. And then when we go back into the chorus, we still have that same groove going on, but now we've inserted these really interesting sounding hi-hats with a lot of the top end taken out of them again. We're taking the top end out of a lot of these percussive sounds. We're really focusing kind of on the low end there to make a lot of room for Taylor Swift's vocal. And here she's going into a falsetto. It's reminiscent of what I'd expect from her on a song like Dress or Delicate. That sounds really clean from her. It adds a nice layer of excitement to the song while still giving it that chill atmosphere that she's going for as kind of the key sonic element of the album Midnights. One thing I really like about this chorus is the switch between head voice and chest voice. She starts out doing this falsetto, and then she goes into this more chesty vocal for part of it, and then she gets into that kind of in-between range for the I just wanna stay in this lavender haze. And then on the stay in the haze, they have these stacked harmonies. Also, in terms of songwriting, you're getting a fempowerment vibe here, saying people have certain expectations for her for relationships and other things, and she's kind of expressing a disillusionment with those expectations. Now we're seeing a combination of the elements we've been introduced to. In the first verse, we had, pretty straight on vocals. We're getting those. You get this back and forth that we expected from the pre-chorus. You're hearing a bit of that background vocal creeping in, that yeah, oh yeah filter that she used earlier. And we're also getting those stacked harmonies that we heard during the chorus. So she said, okay, her and Jack Antonoff have used these elements just barely. They've introduced them all to us, and so now in this second verse, they can put them on display. I really like that specific line right there because we see the harmonies build. We get more and more vocals on top of that and layering on top of her as we go through the line. So it's like, okay, we have some harmonies, we got like a 2-part harmony, and then we extend to a 3-part harmony with that third part being an octave.
Viral, I just need this love spiral, get it off your chest.
This bridge is cool. They've taken that vocal that we've heard in the beginning and transitioning us after each chorus, and they've made it the central focus. They've added it with some lines for the bridge, continuing to talk about this dissatisfaction, staying on that emotional topic for sure. Stripping down the percussion, going back to just that steady kick that we heard in the pre-chorus.
Get it off my desk. Talking, viral, I just need this.
Interesting mix of how they're approaching harmonies throughout this bridge here. Just having those harmonies come in at very specific moments. There's not kind of constant harmonies. It's like end of phrase type stuff. And then when the lead vocal drops away, they have a vocoder on top of those harmonies to give it a different character than they've heard, than we've heard previously on this track, which is cool. It's cool that they're kind of flavoring the vocal in different ways throughout the progression of the song.
Get it off your chest. Get it off my desk.
They're doing a double bridge here, which is actually really cool. That is a form popularized by the third wave emo movement. And Taylor Swift was, of course, heavily influenced by third wave emo. It's kind of a very early influence for her. So it's cool to see her bringing back that influence in a subtle way through the form of the song. I like how this bridge, as we're coming out of the song, is a lot more toned down. The end of phrases don't have those stacked harmonies. The kick is a lot less present. It feels like everything's calming down. And the choruses in general, we saw pretty much the exact same production. The differences between the chorus being the performance that Taylor Swift is conveying. There's a lot more energy. The energy builds with each and every chorus, which is what you want to do to create this continual progression. And because that energy is so high from her performance in that last chorus, when we drop and we take away a lot of those elements for this second bridge portion that kind of serves as the outro, it feels a much more impactful.
I just wanna stay in that lavender haze.
Cool, interesting. She took the end of the chorus and tacked it on to the bridge. Nice form. Liked it. Dug it. Yeah, cool track. Definitely one of the best tracks from Midnights, in my opinion. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this track. Hope it's given you some insight into the production. It's cool that they used just a lot of vocal layers on this. There's basically nothing going on in this song that isn't a vocal, or at least doesn't sound like a vocal, besides the percussion, which I think is a great way to produce a song. If you did enjoy my thoughts on this song, I'd really appreciate if you give me a like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, check out my other music that I have out. I put an album called Bashing My Head Through a Wall. Uses harmonies and differentiation from verse to chorus to bridge. Uses those double bridges. A lot of the elements you see here in there, but in more of a folk context, kind of more of a folklore vibe. So if you enjoyed this, you'll probably enjoy that. Also, I've got just a ton of other reaction videos you can check out. Thanks so much. Catch you on the flip.
You can leave if it don't feel right.